Okay. Okay. Hmm. Um. 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 Writing. Um. 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 Do we have? Um. Hmm. Hmm. able to don't seem to haven't made overt moves work. Mm, happy. Uh, mm, 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 uh, uh, Hey, what's up? Oh, I can't see you. Hey, how are you doing, dude? It has been a little while. Hmm. Currently just looking at trying to... I'm trying to write political intrigue, but I'm realizing that I'm not very good at writing political intrigue. Which really is a reason why I should keep writing political intrigue. Fish. He's... It is, it very much is. But yeah. The thing is, I've just gotten into a very political arc. Am I... Goddamn, have you put me on fucking private again, YouTube? Yes, you have. I don't know why. I swear it's some bullshit like YouTube thinks... It's like the damn bullshit with YouTube adding age verification. I don't want that fucking system to exist. Oh, thank you. But yeah. I want to get rid of... Like, there is... Why? Like, have age verification if you're going to have adult features. But there's no need to block normal fucking features behind like an age behind an age restriction. Ooh, nice. You got that plug of yours fixed? Like both the wall plug and the voltage regulation circuit. Um. Hmm. Has been out suggest that um, that they might know Hmm. Hey Alan, how you doing? Um, hmm, that makes some of what we are on concerning, especially with regard to uh, coming up. You think um uh, uh, has the update has the background checking or Norris come back? Nothing particular. Who? What's going on then? April 5th to May 12th. I'm not sure what's going on then. Oh, yeah. Her. Her. Father. That. Yeah. Put your nose to the grindstone, man. You can do it. Just focus on getting something workable going first. Boss rush makes sense. Like enemy waves kind of situation. With mercenary company that chose her mother was the local father mostly retired. I was in charge the majority. Shared initial prototypes in line with her expectation, but it has mostly been through system. Since she can't brave. Uh, um, quantum systems and money for full scale prototype. That's usually where these sorts of um uh, usually where these fall it seems to um, beyond is the other the um, 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 uh, Um, uh, uh, um, uh, yeah. I mean, that's basically what learning is. So yeah, go ahead, man. Don't let me stop. Yep, I'm quite some distance away. I physically cannot. Ah, I, uh, I've been decent. Got some good sleep last night. After uh, uh, are you enjoying yourself? Getting some nice, getting some nice holidays in. Uh, uh, gosh. Invitation. Um, enjoy dinner. Ah. And keep planning next year. Increase with more prizes. Like um mm, uh mm, uh um uh more prizes. Quotas. That's um, mm, mm, uh, um um mm, mm, uh mm, long term. Our intel offer. Yeah. Um, hmm, uh, hmm, 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 uh, uh, um, 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 uh, um, uh, 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 um, hmm, um, uh, um, uh, uh, um, 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 we were able to. Um, uh, pause. Advice to had suggesting that she come to the meeting to protect. Um, um, mm, uh, uh, mm, um, uh, um, uh, uh, need be more good coach. Um, uh, Hmm. With equal cultural penetration. Another equal with both and both were spotted. I got that name correct. Uh, 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 um, um, what the fuck is this not copying? Um, okay. Which to just uh, uh, um, with in with the map of Lux. Uh, Luxon. Um. Uh, 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 hmm. Uh, Lux- being... Wait, do I already... Did I do something on Luxon earlier? No, it's... I've been... Um... Uh... 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 Being more pirates here recently. On zero. And they've been looking update their defense. Okay, I'm gonna be right back in just a moment. Okay. Of it. The for aid of technology difficult to get because but yeah, but they but uh, uh, but all still. Or that my really so yes. So if I pop over to my roles, there were some that got missed, unfortunately. Warp Drive was the recent one that got entirely missed, and that was kind of a mixed bag. Because on one hand, it does mean that Jun doesn't have to spend time reinventing the redeveloping jump drive technology. On the other hand, I just got through Jun getting access to a lot of jump drive tech. So that was messy. Then there's Far Space. This is a weird one because Far Space is supposed to be one of those incomplete perks. Yeah. Far Space is supposed to be one of those incomplete perks where it isn't super useful without a way of traveling between realms. So between planes, and I've added some more to try and fix that, like trying to make that sort of meshing more possible, but that still hasn't happened. Currently, I'm writing it as Jun now has an understanding of two different realms in addition to like a general concept of interdimensional travel due to the jump drive. So they are going to be using this as a way of better understanding warp technology, allowing them to do stuff like invent the black box, as well as see the problems that the black box would have caused and use that to create jump jamming technology, which is a way of stopping people from jumping into specific jump points. Right? So, that is not the right one. So I've added that for Far Space. Then going back a little bit further, we got Pure Industry, which is a really big one. Because this is the perk that basically says, hey, yeah, you know you had industrial problems? Well, now you don't. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't let you do anything that you couldn't before, but it is logistics. And I have also made it so that the way it works is by effectively giving you a supernatural understanding of the available logistics. So I made it a little bit of a little bit of a little bit of an intelligence asset where Jun is able to basically try logistical connections that says, oh, okay, you have this missing link in your logistics. Well, this is kind of what you're looking for, and this is what's available to you. And yeah. So that's gonna be fun. Also, just before landing on Canopus, Jun got the singing perk. So now they can sing really well, which is hilarious. Yeah. So yeah, right now I've been basically using all of the recent perks to come together in the direction of this big media slash PR blitz that the Victus Coalition is going on is using to using to establish themselves as say in order to gain local political leverage to get support from the Magistracy of Canopus. And yeah. Mm. Um, uh, uh, mm, so yeah. You were going to be late. Then could at least give us good news. We got the numbers in for Jim's new album. Out of the round almost a million sales on day one. Um, almost 500,000 sales. Doesn't. It's slowing down all. Almost a quarter. And it hasn't hit the other market yet. be big. Um, uh, hmm, um, hmm, uh, uh, hmm, uh, uh, um, uh, um, um, it's one damn thing. Uh, I did the 88th roll already, right? Yeah, I did. Uh, um, okay, so specifically with key magic, spiritual, and psionic, each time he rolls that, well, every time they roll that, they do get an improvement to their reserves. So if you want to think about it in like D&D terms, each time you get that perk again, you get like you effectively level up in terms of the number of spell slots you have. So if you roll magic once, you're a level 1 wizard with only like one spell slot, like one level 1 spell slot or whatever. If you level up again, you're now a level 2 wizard, whatever. You have more magic that you can spend on whatever you're doing. Right? It doesn't grant skill, but it does grant capability. So what it does is, let's say that you have spiritual energy and you're thinking about this from Bleach's point of view, right? Ichigo might be the equivalent of having 10 spiritual perks, right? And one would be like some random, like one would be like some random like fodder Shinigami or something, and then two is double that, and so on and so forth. Then you have like with Ki, you could think of it in like Dragon Ball, where each time you roll Ki, you get an extra 1500 battle power of Ki in like Dragon Ball terms. So that's why those perks are repeatable. So right now, Jun's capabilities are kind of limited to sensing the intentions of people around them and drawing the memories out of people. They will get better soonish, and they have, like, now that they've revealed some of their secrets to the rest of the board. I mean, it hasn't happened in the posted stuff, but I did a chapter recently in, I think it was 42. Yeah, in 41, 42, so it's not too far away, where Jun reveals to Grayson and Ime and Arvel that they have the ability to take the memories out of people's minds, and that's how they discovered things about Comstar. And Jun is going to be releasing that. Jun is now able to like actually train some of their powers as a result of like considering some things like actually worth, like, so like being able to find like actual support in this case, right? It's not happening right now ish, because like they left for Canopus on the 26th of August, and they only revealed that like a few months earlier. So they don't have much training, but they do have like yeah, I mean, he's not going to be practicing on the rest of the board, but they are going to be able to train, now that it's no longer as much of a secret, they can manage some, like they can find, like they can discuss between themselves what is an acceptable risk and what isn't, which means that now that Jun doesn't have to hide everything, they can set up a much more controlled setup. Like a much more controlled setup for how they are what do you call it? Like how they are building out their facilities, right? They can now basically say, okay, I need like a group of people who are directly under me, who are like locked in, completely secret. I'm going to be doing like a bunch of testing to make sure that they're loyal, and I'm going to build out a supply chain of people, say a group of people who are going to be cleared on the fact that I have supernatural powers, and that they will be acting as training, as like act as training dummies for that, right? So right now, Jun has been more concerned with training their Ki related powers than their psionic related powers, just on the point of pure survivability, right? Because Ki is like the most directly combat applicable, at least as far as they can tell right now. And that is also something that is like less difficult, like it's already something that's kind of leaking. There are enough people that suspect that they have something weird going on about them. So yeah, they've already set up like a training scheme with their like primary security team, where they are training very specifically with the supernatural capabilities of ki in mind. But one of the big things, and this is the thing that Jun can already do, so they don't have super dedicated training for this, is being able to sense what is effectively killing intent even over great distances. And this was from all the way back in Bolin, right? It's something that has actually been seen, that's actually been posted. It was once bitten. Like I don't actually, like I haven't personally made it 1500, right? I just pull that number out of my ass. I do the idea is that each time you get the perk, you get stronger and therefore are more able to do stuff with ki. So that is actually what's happening. So Jun can't necessarily do yeah. So like for me, Jun's power leveling should probably be fairly low at this point. The thing is, I don't have a max on ki capacity in this story. So maybe like I don't know, maybe it's like Jun gets 500 ki per thing or whatever, I don't know. But point is, Jun, each time they get the perk, they get stronger in terms of how much ki they can use, and that is supposed to do stuff like help with like all sorts of different abilities. It's going to be big. What's next? They're going to be advertising medical. Selling lost. What's next? They're going to be advertising medical. Uh, 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 mm, 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 Murphy, yeah. Is this enough for this section? Doesn't need to be long, but 500 should be. Oops, not. There's already a lot of. There's already momentum on there. They'll have the means to be a pain in the image. They don't get what do we have on that? Seems to be mostly in line with what they told us. Military support or joint action against the Marine. There's apparently we've been able to corroborate the information regarding the Marians being the remaining front this war. And even with the breathing, they have quite likely. descendant of the descendant of now still a major player in all of quite likely that they have the attacks on the won't be able to keep up. They won't be able to deal with their peril. Finally. Sorry. Mm. Uh, um, mm, mm, small. They had rated. They had put the offer on the table, which meant that the majority of the discussion between their lawyer at this as they figured out a deal that met both the requirements of Canadian law and that of the various jurisdictions. Basically, that the even if the coalition would likely be undergoing significant drift, especially since the coalition would be facing significant. In policy, once the war knowledge that Wrong had with regards. The wrong had with regards. Regards. Was going to when it of guns. It's so far. Good enough for advanced feel that be enough. Uh, 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 Response with that with enough training skill pilot make use of the craft were but the control were still the limiting um, limiting factor. Urgent. So when it came to their actual fight, that they were such an oppressive force. Had was so because of that they were such an oppressive force was solely because of with how capable the craft the Hers were in they were found. Hmm. Uh. 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 Okay. Why they were experiencing. The thing is, what Jun would be hearing is the initial, like the primer going off inside the bomb, right? Because um, without a mind to read, Jun doesn't know that the bomb is there. What they hear is effectively the start, like, you know how in order for high explosives to go off, they need a smaller explosion to set them off. Jun hears that smaller explosion going off, and therefore is able to like partially protect her, right? Or is like able to um like get into a reasonable position. But that is still minuscule fractions of a second. It is not enough to um it is not enough to um it is not enough to cause um like enough to like actually position themselves precisely in such a way that that it'll be able to uh like completely save them, especially since the barrier that the generators produce is fairly tight fitting. So it'll be enough to like protect uh their like torso areas, but they will still get a lot of injuries. Well, Wrong and the others who and the lawyer that accompanied her will still get some injuries. So Jun will be deploying the battle glue. That's all. But as the attack on Ursinus proved, they could still be overwhelmed with. Yeah, but they'll still need the battle glue to like seal her up and keep her alive until they can get medical support. With enough they could still the a path that the pilots the paths that the pilots traced were predictable enough for other more skilled pilots. It wasn't. With some improved. Maybe the magic is one of the spaces that Jun just doesn't have enough understanding to really like do complex. Like, it doesn't have the right like framework to do complex stuff with. Right now they know how to do some very basic like evocation style magic because that's what they've trained, as well as their like assembly magic that they've been doing recently, which has mainly been about like manipulation and stuff. But like complex effects like healing, it just hasn't occurred to them yet. And developing those spells will take time. Even with the magic, even with the genius thing, because they'll be inventing an entire like branch of magic from scratch, basically. Especially with Lit. So yeah, it's really just about the fact that fantasy as a thing is not super common in the setting, nor is it something that Jun has been particularly interested in. I think they're more likely to develop like a spiritual based healing system than they are to develop a magical based healing system right now. Because all of the quote unquote healing magic has usually been attributed to divine stuff. Because like various religions usually have some form of healing. So Jun is more likely to associate healing with like spiritual influences. Especially with like it wasn't enough for the defenders to be the win, but there had been real pressure, but enough that push against the much more developed, much more powerful Marion was Marion's was it was to Uh, mm, mm, uh, 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 Chrome was much so the process it goes. Hey, trying to gain what? Uh, uh, I mean, I haven't seen it anywhere, but it definitely wasn't a thing on Melpomene or Melpomene. I have no idea what the actual pronunciation is. Um, um, but what do you call it? Um, and since then, Jun hasn't been super invested in like games and stuff. Like, sure, they have books that they read, but that's about it. And most of those books will be science fiction, not fantasy. Uh, 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 asking her opportunity to uh, 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 mm, um, the window, the, the larger window overlooking the streets. Nopus always there. Was Legend had suggested more secure. But that request. Uh, 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 mm, uh, mm, mm, uh, button odds. But be worried. Even searching the skyline, various uh, It could be same. Uh, it's, that same sense. Uh, um. Mm, mm, mm. The the they couldn't detect any harmful. Uh, I think it's going to expose that Jun has something weird, right? It's going to show, oh, Jun, as well as the people at VIT, were somehow able to survive like a point blank, like an explosion with no visible damage, right? There, even if, and especially in comparison to Wrong and her lawyer, um, there's going to be like no damage at all visible on the VIT board members. So there is going to be some evidence that VIT has something weird there. And probably within the coalition, the existence of the barrier generator is going to be revealed. But outside the barrier generator, the bigger intelligence win is that there is actually a way for Jun to be hit, right? They are going to see that, oh, Jun was not able to like casually prevent the assassination assassination attempt, because like previous Comstar assassination attempts, Jun will just intercept them before they become an issue. Uh, 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 mm. So we're probably going to see a lot more in the way of like traps and explosions used against them. Uh, yeah. Hmm. With the holiday event behind. Mm. Mm. Probably. The other thing that's going to be coming of this is that Jun is going to be a lot more serious about their what do you call it? About their security. Like their progress in Canopus, the official announcement of the Victors Coalition, and the victory against the Marians all are going to come together to help them like actually have the um protections necessary to defend against actually have the what do you call it? actually have the required political know-how to what's it called, enforce their own security standard. Hold on. Down. Some more. Oh. Over over a span only. However, yep. Or make spells that do the same, or any number of other approaches. For one. With making their way from the um, almost E. Bang. Push. There. Body before good form. And 15. Then position. Himself. Okay. It's a fun the window. Lane for barrier generator glimmered the um glimmered the parting. A shrapnel went flying. The Victus, for the Victor was mostly close enough racing that his barrier had been able to catch flying. Other party by the coalition party group less. Even with the loss largely mitigated, enough material had been out. Enough material had been flying about. There are various that was already all for medical, all for soon, come on, as they rush. Big, already as they did. Anything big. Let me see. There has been some progress. No, they are about 70 words away from a perk. So they might get one as this scene ends out. future. As they pull out the basic, pulled out the potato tray. If this goes bad, it's going to cause not to mention that two stars easily rip a hole in the top covering. With a press on the nozzle, the golden gel spray foaming start to work up the goodness really. There. By the time finished working down is the the local emergence arrived. What? Something we were planning during work. It's emergency boom sterilizer, allowing rapid and low-level series stabilization more serious. So we need to make up their batch for we one of anything we need to be that particular formulation makes use Standard. Standard. First aid. Antibiotic. Standard battle. Medic. Selfie. Antibiotic. Well, should be largely passive biological. You can wash off IPA as long as over 70. They not Hey, that was enough to bring us over. Let's do a roll. Okay, yep. This particular formation. But yeah, we have enough for a roll. Let's see what we get. Ooh. Damn. That is... Fuck. I mean, I know it's not jack of all trades literally, but it is effectively jack of all trades. This is literally, oh, I can spend an hour, and I know enough. I know the basics of basically anything. Damn. Also, I think fundamentals might be broken. Yeah, it should have dependencies. Technically, I have all the dependencies, but I do need to fix this. I will make a note of that for the next time I'm working on this perk. Fix fundamentals. Should have key, magic, psionics, and spiritual energy and eldritch mind as I mean, technically it's not dependencies, it's just requirements. I'll just have it update this. That is some serious early installment weirdness that I did not notice. Yeah. As they began Um, uh, uh, I mean, it doesn't give dimensional travel, right? But it does mean that Jun has a better understanding of, say, better like setup for learning the um learning jump technology, especially like the related fields like jump drive construction and stuff like that. So like while True Genius and everything has been pulling its weight, it's mostly been in the way of, okay, they understand the stuff that they've been reading, but they've still been slowly going through centuries of jump drive development. This would give them enough knowledge to like get effectively a working understanding. So to peek behind the curtain a little bit, this perk was specifically inspired by the Avengers scene where Tony Stark says, so when someone asks Tony Stark, when did you become a astrophysicist? And he responds with, last night. And he's basically referring to, it's basically referring to the idea that like, oh yeah, if you're smart enough, yeah, if you're smart enough, you can just kind of pick up enough to know this shit. And Jun is now smart enough. Mhm. Jun once again paging through the century paper. Oh, actually, I need to remember to add this shit to the current centuries of research papers of observations and these as they tried to piece together the lost side of jump, jump, uh, jump drive, of jump, of hyperspace. It had been. It was something that been in investigating the insights. Some of the greatest minds that humanity had ever. Mm, No, because the far space knowledge has nothing to do with interplanar travel, right? That's one of the things that is a thematic bit of weirdness about the march that I kind of want to keep, but I've been trying to address, right? So previously there were only 3 perks, I think, that did interplanar travel, right? There was there was planar ship, and there was shift tool, right? And then there was also portal projector and technically paramatter that did interplanar materials. Also phase field. That was also there. But without one of these perks, it's more like just because you know the physics of the normal, like the normal dimension, like your home dimension, doesn't mean you understand anything about traveling to others. What it does is it gives you the basic understanding and logic, like the Newtonian physics equivalent for the other plane that it's referencing. It will give you that about far space. It'll give you that about the elemental planes, about the dead worlds, the mirror planes, the material planes, yada 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 yada. And you can and now I've also added 2 more, which is liminal space and blink, which also add to the chances of getting a perk that will give you access to another plane. Technically portals, I think magical portals would also do it. I know there is a portal perk that does that. But yeah. Slogging for investing some of the greatest what Eldritch Mind does is it allows you to comprehend that stuff. Right? What it does is it stops your brain from falling out of your ears when you try and comprehend things man was not supposed to know. So it's like, with Eldritch Mind, you can look upon Cthulhu and say, "Hey, cool." Hey, that looks cool," or "Hey, it looks like you've got a splinter," or something like that. It allows a human mind a mortal mind to withstand cosmic horror. But as they read through connection form began of interconnection, missing parts, places where you write to ask and connection, right? The next steps, even subtle choice in wording give a great deal. Now, Rabite, you have to recognize that I'm not being prescriptive about this. This is just the way I'm handling marching. If you want to write your own story using the march, go ahead and say that, okay, the various dimensions will give you some level of understanding on how to travel to that dimension specifically, right? maybe there is like specific phenomena that connect hyperspace and the material realm, right? And by understanding those specifically, you can bridge that gap. But that's not how things work in this dimension, in this story. I gave a great deal. Give a clue. Closed. That alone had been enough for them to make logical and bound the things that could now plan. A thing was starting snap together as they drew in the they had of the new plane reveal to them their hands itch yet, but they once again risked. Now was not the time. Yeah. Yeah. Now's not the time. Bring each. No doubt. There was enough evidence in what they had pieced together that Jun could guess at how HP. No doubt Tom still had much of access. They wouldn't be able to pick up on these. Oh, no, I never got around to that. I have far too many writing projects to really explore that. Like, I've got this, I've got MCQ, and then I've got my AI experimental project where I am the kind of person who does not like to speak from a place of ignorance nor parrot other people's opinions. So, I set up a local LLM and I've been trying to see um how you can do AI assisted / AI beta writing. And to tell you the truth, it is so shit. If you care even the slightest amount about like how your story is going, it's just so trash. Like I can barely get it to stay in line with what I want. Uh, uh, mm, uh, pick up the signs of them. That they're uh their foes. Look, so the experimental project that I'm working on is like a Xiangxia style story where it's like trying to explore certain concepts with regards to like certain concepts regarding like multidisciplinary cultivation, right? Where the idea is, you know how in like like in Xiangxia stories, most of the time cultivators are like one path or the other, and then sometimes you will get like one say like maybe the protagonist or maybe like an enemy or someone who does like body cultivation as well as soul cultivation as well as like something else, and it's like they just have like three separate martial cultivation paths. Well, I was kind of saying, okay, what if I write a story about someone like, yeah, about someone who does like combat cultivation, but also does item crafting and all these other things, and also does like the more esoteric spell crafting and all that stuff. And I ended up creating this system, which is like, there are there are 7 groups of cultivation based around the different chakras, and they have all of this stuff. And honestly, world building is something that's been pretty decent um in terms of what I've been able to use the LLM for, because it's something that I actually know what the answer is and what like I can correct for it later. But it's really nice at making notes. So like if I'm looking at this, I created this. Say I had it took me like a couple of days, but I've been building out this world building stuff, and this has been fairly easy. However, I tried to write like one conversation I tried to write one conversation, and the damn thing is trying to like hallucinate a bunch of random bullshit instead of giving like I just want this one character. I just want a line where this one character says, "Hey, I heard that this person got promoted from the outer sect to the inner sect because they are like they learned how to contain contain the key from this crystal with their magic, so with their own key, right? And say or they don't even say with their own key. They learn how to contain the key of this crystal and use it to make this anklet, right? And it's like, okay, that's all I need you to say. Damn thing was talking about like some weird concepts about like, oh, they were able to make use of this specific path of key, despite the fact that I'm very specifically saying that the paths thing is like a in universe super obscure key theory. Nobody actually gives a shit about that. It's the equivalent of bringing up like astrophysics in like a casual conversation. But because yeah, anyways, point is, it is. I mean, I get the feeling that fiction of any kind is the biggest place where AI struggles because you're not like fiction is such like is it works on a completely different rule set from everything else. But like note taking is kind of fine. That seems to be working decently. It's also shit at programming. That's the other thing. I have like multiple attempts of using this shit for programming, and it is shit. Even spell checking isn't great. I've had AI spell check. I've messed with AI spell checkers in the past, and the reason why I want to make Compound Eye is because all of them are shit. It feels like every AI researcher is like trying to shove chatbots into everything because they can't rub two brain cells together and see that different applications have different LLM say different like benefits. Like I totally bet you could have way better results in AI spell checking just by using a non-chatbot based model. I even have an idea of how to do it. I just uh, working on the uh, just the just utilizing just the germanium alone would be consistent with their replica. The pure amount they but the vision. The thing that I think it is that the process of training AI is expensive, right? But and the thing that is most easily understandable to non-technical users is a chatbot. That is the most AI feeling application of LLM technology, right? Of modern AI technology. That is the most sci-fi feeling thing, where you talk to your computer and it responds to you, right? That is the thing that feels most AI about modern AI. So I don't know, it's messy. Let's see. There. No, because it would have to be a stud. It would have to be specifically studied. If Jun spent an hour studying investigation techniques, to then say that would give them a basic understanding of investigation, which they would be able to use to investigate what was happening. But yeah. There. 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 Have led that they must. Yeah. So like it is, so again, it's very much based on that scene from Avengers where it is literally, oh, I can do the last minute studying and like, okay, I'm good enough to like at least I'm past the I am past the what's the name of that? Understanding it'll get you past Mount Stupid, right? That is what this perk does. It gets you past, it gets you from this point to this point in an hour. Maybe a little bit further than this point. But that is what you get to. Where you get past the initial basic concepts and you start to understand how you are understand what you're doing next. Like where you need to go. Like you understand enough to know when you're wrong. That is roughly where I put this perk. Of course, you could have it. You could state it differently, right? You could say that, oh, this is, I don't know. Pretty much, you cram before the exam and you can pass. That's basically where you're at. What else? Or these. Where? Ready. Yes. Towards there. Feeling already. Thursdays. Do that. I guess so, but it wouldn't be like Jun gets. Like, Jun would get the basics as they relate to quantum physics, right? They would get the mathematical concepts related to it. They would get like specific interactions and shit. But it wouldn't mean that they suddenly have the like multiple years of pre-existing knowledge that would underlie it, right? They would get, okay, they understand this, but they don't really know how to translate from. I guess they would kind of know how to translate upwards from quantum physics. It wouldn't be easy. Well, whatever. Uh. Uh. Gilbert. However, shared. Oh. Your look. Tales. Gilbert. Given. With me discuss. When race. Things you shared. This isn't something I want to get to. And you. The way it'll work is it is enough for Jun to survive in a conversation about that topic, right? It is enough for them to. It is enough of a foundation for them to continue to learn. Um, you. He'll will likely carry. I need to figure out what we are sharing to and what we restrict. This is not the kind of we can afford to. Special or with what happened. There's something about that I've ever noticed more than the yep. The security. We believed that believed that I mean, Jun's already past basic politics at this point, aren't they? I guess it would help with like culture specific things. But Jun is very much ahead of like basic politics at the moment. Uh, uh, we need to discuss how that will our uh, the security issue. Discuss how it'll impact your current plans with regards to. I mean, necessarily based on Battletech travel times, you're almost certainly going to get at least an hour on your way to any planet. So you can definitely study quite easily. Security issue. We need to discuss how that will impact your current plans with regards to. Avoiding. Once that's once that's dealt with. Once that's we will look. That's where we will end off for today. Thanks for coming by. We've made good progress. I'm only about 1,500 words from the end of this chapter. Maybe. It depends on the lost tech in question and like what information is there. Because they can't just study the same information for an hour and get yeah. Because man.